Hello, welcome to another Rangaroo cast, me Rangaroo, and today we are doing a 1v1 on Chamont Levente. I can't bloody say the name, but anyway, on the left hand side, in blue, playing as 101st Airborne, Jesus Christ, Airborne, we got a North Carolina, otherwise known as Local Festival. We're just going to call them Local Festival. And the right hand side, in red, playing as Pangelair, of course, we have Pbatt. It's replayed sent to me personally by Pbatt. Thank you very much. It was recorded before the Duelist patch. This is a bit of an oldie, so really honestly, not much has been changed since the latest patch, since time of recording. Pbatt should have some more ammunition in his autocannon units, but that's really it. Everything else is pretty samey, not too much change. And for the love of God, guys, if you have a replay, please upload it to the replay site. I'm getting a bit dry, I'm not gonna lie. It's a cry for help, and now he's got quite a bit of ammunition. I think it's 250/9. That was nerfed in the Duelist patch. But anyway, we're going to speed things up, get things going. 101st Airborne is going to be pretty fun in the southern hand side. You've got a lot of forest, but open ground engagement is where Local Festival is going to suffer. Because even as 101st, he can only get a M1 AT gun and then a Wolverine. So if Pbatt was to bring up Panthers or Tigers, it's going to put Miracle Line in a rather tricky situation. And he's got the 37mm guns in position, and for A phase, that's going to be perfect because he cannot bring up any proper armor at his Pbatt. So they're going to have an absolute blast. As he got some Panda Grenadiers unloading, he can out-infantry him. He's just going to be very good early on for Mr. Local Festival. As you got the AT gun knocking out half track, completely nullifying their use up top. And you already got the airborne engineers rushing into the forest. Long range 50 cal fight against an MG42. The 42 is in better cover, yo, and as you can see, that has proved to be quite bloody useful. As it does stun it up. And 234. Knocking out the 50 cal down below with help of Panda Grenadiers and half track. And you see Mr. Local just has 5 AT guns, has them all over the map, which is exactly what he needs. And they are only very cheap, only 40 points. Well, that's relatively cheap, I guess. The M runs 55 points, but you can get a lot of them in A phase, which I highly recommend. Pbatt bringing up /8. And really, for Local Festival, he can get his AT gun over here, but it's just going to get spotted. And as you can see, hopefully that's not desync. It does kill 234/1. And the 37mm gun is going to survive. Rather we're doing the attack move, yeah, or the focus fire and ground move with the /8, but I guess that's, he could just barely see it. And the ABNGs and the AT gun is going to be forced to fall back. Panzerov is going to be very important to try stopping those AB engineers from doing anything too sneaky beaky. And it's a smart Pbatt's not even going to go into the forest because he knows it is going to burn. So Miracle, or Local Festival, just going to start pounding away with some mortars. And up top, he's using mortars to great effect. It's going to be smoking in front of his Pathfinders. And Pbatt's just kind of tough for him to bring up the armor early on. He doesn't, he has a mortar unit, which is about to get blown up. Does survive, but it's going to be forced back a bit. But using those mortars is going to be oh so important, because those AT guns are his major threat. And there's so many of them, it's going to be a pain trying to kill them all. And as you can see, Local Festival just rushing on in with the AB engineers and rifles. Those PZ Grens do not stand a chance. And Local going to be pinning the PZ Grens down below. And it's just a very nice slow +1 for local. I mean, he's really pushing heavy up top. But he's got a 2-3-4/run coming in to help. Brunch and AT gun gets into range. It won't be looking too pretty. Yeah, it is in a pretty good spot at the moment. Only really if the AT gun moves up to the 50 cal was where he could get a kill. We got another 2-3-4. And another 2-3-4. He really likes his 2-3-4/runs. Good bombing run there, hitting 3 vehicles, forcing them to retreat. PZ-Ren's being forced out of the building. There's a Panzerwerfer to try and stop any other assaults. And very conservative with his ammunition. Doesn't seem like he has an A-phase supply truck, so he has to be conservative. We have only 2 minutes left. I think he should be fine with 7 shots. And he's using that mortar. Brunch again to B-phase. It should lighten up quite a bit for Pbatt. I mean, if he could save up for Tiger or Panther, that'd help out quite a bit if you just want ground game, but I think the extra artillery units will prove to be quite more useful. And other fire support. You don't really have to worry about tanks from Mr. Local. As this nice, like, tank armor is 10 with the M4DD. Yeah, it's like 10. Which isn't a lot. Pretty much every single German tank can kill it. We've got Locust. And 2-3-4s are engaged and they can kill it because their autocannons can pen. And as you can see, completely stunning up the M22. I don't think he's going to get out alive, to be honest. We've got ME-109 chasing the Mustang. Yeah, the Mustang is going to get out. And good use of airplanes. Pbatt's going to have to take advantage of that. I mean, he doesn't have as many airplanes as local, but he needs to keep his airspace secured because that is his major weakness. Mortar being knocked out, yeah, and I think 2-3-4s are really starting to make a push through. I mean, AT guns being forced to retreat, and yeah, Pbatt could do some nice little autocannon tomfoolery here. Because, well, the thing with his autocannon units is they can kill the majority of airborne units very easily, especially infantry. Great fire support. They're just very lightly armoured. We've got the mortar trying to hit where the AT gun was, but it's no longer. Yeah, we are in B phase now, and we do have the supply truck immediately being brought out from Pbatt, and that's really it. Royal Miracle, or Local, is getting up, I'm guessing, a proper AT gun. Yeah, a 57mm, and a Bofors. I'm guessing the Bofors trying to keep those ME-109s at bay, because they did knock out an AT gun, a very important AT gun, which is a bit of a pain. The Panzer Grenadiers get knocked out, so he's not going to be able to make any plays into the town, and so he's just going to stick to the right hand side. AT gun again into position. Mustang going in for the Messerschmitt, and the Bofors doing a damn good job stunning up the plane so the Mustang can get the finishing blow. .50 cal on the /A, and really things are going pretty slow at the moment. Both sides get reinforcements. Got 232, more AT guns, more infantry from local. I'm thinking for Pbatt just trying to secure his top hand side, try to get his ground under his control. The problem is the forest, and Pbatt can't fly effectively in the forest because the threat of AB engineers. Of course, as you can see, AB engineers are really only in the town and in the southern forest. Over here, not so much, so I understand he wouldn't want to push here at the moment because he could get flanked from both sides. And you never know what could be in those tree lines. That's a lot of positions for an AT gun to possibly be in. And we got Smoke trying to save the 234 as it slowly falls back, and Pbatt is just sticking with the light armor at the moment, which you can get away with against 101st Airborne, as like I said, a lot of their staff is just infantry and very lightly armoured. I mean, you just need good at fire support units to effectively fight 101st. And we got some glider rifles, nothing too fancy. /8's going to be helping out a bit. And there's the Panzer Ruf. It's going to be Ruf and Panzers. Oh, and complete... Yeah, okay, here we go. Finally got to hit, yeah. Used up quite a bit of ammunition. But completely sun up the entire infantry blob. And what's really helping local festival is having his forest under his control. He's having a very nice ground coverage on this open ground. He really doesn't have much control. He's got an AT gun here, but that's really it. And for Pbatt, he can't exactly get good control because you have to put infantry in these small tree lines, which aren't tactically great. And just why do you want to do that? So he's just going to use a single recon unit. And if he was maybe a bit more worried about map control, maybe put like a cube wagon over here, try to push it up, just to try to neutralize some ground for yourself. But that is how the map control mechanic works. And he has snuck around a recon dude behind enemy line to see what he can see, because he can see quite a bit. Sees the AT guns, sees Sherman DD, infantry being brought up. I see a machine gun infantry unit. I'm thinking Pbatt now he finally has a proper tank, but well, it's a proper tank. It's not a tank slot, but it's still a tank. And the BO Panzer IV, real fan favorite, awesome unit. He's getting 2 of them because why not? It's a tank I can call an artillery. Pretty cool, pretty damn cool. Really, really fun unit. I mean, there's not many RTS games where you have a fully functional tank that can also call in indirect fire. I think that's pretty awesome. And we got the off-map party hitting the 50 cal machine gun. Panzer IV getting into position. Gonna be fine. The AT gun, which is gonna be very risky. I think he's just popping in and out, seeing if he can get a first shot. Because you don't want to lose a BO Panzer IV because... Oh, baiting the 250 to take the shot. Very smart. Finishing it off with a 232. Very good micro, yeah. I do like it when people bait AT guns and other units with a flanking unit. I mean, sometimes you see when a person flanks a Panzer IV fight, or a Tiger I really mean, they move like a crappy half track, so a Tiger turns around to engage a half track, and then you move up the AT gun or tank to finish up the job properly. You know, Slash 8 finally gets killed because that's Sherman's, yeah, and it's going to be a pretty tricky fight between the Sherman and the Panzer IV. Panzer IV does have quite a bit more veterancy, so it shouldn't go too bad. And the PZ4 up top, and it's going to be great because it can call an off-map party, help finish up the town, and give good fire support. Though the AT gun is pounding rate the recon unit up top. This one doesn't get too cocky, keeps it behind his tree line. He should be pretty good. And there we go, stunning up the DD of a Panzer Rifle strike. Rushing a 232, a little bit ballsy sending the 232 first. I wouldn't have done that personally because, as you can see, the Sherman can still fire back and its 50 cals are more than enough to make it very scared. The Panzer IV is going to be a little bit before he can get into position, as you can see. And I think he's going to get the DD out of there. Yeah, damn, just look at that. Off-map party coming in. All direct here on the Sherman. And now he has line of sight. Sherman's out of control, so he's going to fall back directly instead of falling back up here, which would have been much more smarter. So very lucky catch here from Pbatt. And if he could actually penetrate through his southern flank and get into the open field, just completely ignore the forest, he'd be in a damn good position. And it really has the advantage to do that at the moment. The Sherman over here has been brought up into the mid, but the Panzer IV could easily kill it once again. We've got a bit of a furball. The Messerschmitt 109 going to be able to escape. Mustang, even though it's a much faster plane, will it be able to catch up? I don't think so. Yeah, he does not catch up. We've got Mustang at top dropping in some bombs. Right on top of the Panzers. And you are going to be hitting C phase. Pbatt still hasn't got any heavy tanks, but he now has a quite huge point advantage. 150 to 120, so... See, already bring up, I'm guessing, a Flak 88. If I actually... No, it's a 37mm. I did not know they use his transport for the 37 mils. No. It's not the bloody. Because the Flak 41 version of it would have the machine gun, and that's slightly smaller, but it looks similar. So you gotta give me credit for that. But he's bringing up Flak 36 to get into position, rustling in some half tracks to get a surrender. Very cocky, getting hit up by an AT gun. Does get killed, but he has almost managed to completely cap out town. Pbatt bringing in reinforcements. And off-map and the ABNGs. And as long as you can keep him pinned down so he can get the surrender, that's really the best way for him to fight the engineers. The Panzer having a real blast down below, and Wolverine's going to be the perfect counter to that, as it does outrange a PZ4. And even got the highly vetted runs, which are quite expensive for 101st second activation points, as you can only get them in packs of run. Which yeah, I mean, it is 2-star veterancy, but a Wolverine is still a rather flimsy tank, or tank destroyer to be more honest. And it seems like Pbatt, instead of trying to go heavy round the flank, is just going to hold on here and try to capture the forest, which will he overextend, which is probably the smartest idea, because then you can use this area to be a fallback point, and it'd be easier to just resupply units. Yeah, we did take quite a bit of a bombing run there, and now Pbatt is investing in the AAs. You can see he got a Focke-Wulf 109 A8, so I'm thinking his entire plane loadout is just fighters, which is a good idea for his deck. But the thing is Local Festival is in the lead by quite a bit. There's 16 minutes left, so unless Pbatt can do some crazy assault near the end, and it's not really looking too good for him. The Pioneers fighting the Engineers. Technically the same job, but one has grenades and the other has a bloody flamethrower, so take your pick. And can he throw the grenade first? Yes, he does, but the Engineers gets the kill, or surrender I should say. And also at this point you got to realise for Local Festival he has a point disadvantage. He's probably running low on his good infantry. He's using a lot of glider rifles as well. Yeah, and regular engineers. It doesn't seem like he's a fully committed, well, probably a pretty fully committed A-phase, all the AB rifles, all the AB engineers you can slap in. That's what I do in my 101st. I have like 2 slots for B-phase infantry, which isn't a lot, but I plan not to go past C. Hopefully. Doesn't usually work. We've got another Wolverine up top, so 2 2-star Wolverines. And it seems like Pbatt's making his assault. He's on point with those bombing runs, yo. I mean, I only killed a recon unit, yeah, but as you see from before, he's knocking out mortars and just big clumps of forces stopping Pbatt from really attacking. And the PZ4 and 232 did get killed down below. They were a little bit overstretched. I mean, it could have worked better if he had some infantry or recon to help him out, but in that corner and against long range versus an M10, not the best idea. And these half tracks here are now pretty buggered, as the 50 cal M2 is being brought up, and the M10, as you can see, is in position, getting some good snipes. Yeah, well, here we go. We got the Tiger. Heavy tank from Pbatt. And it's going to be an even fight between it and the Wolverine. Now, the Wolverine will have much harder time penetrating. A good rocket run, yeah, and if he can continue up with that air support, he should be able to fight the Tiger effectively. He did a side shot on the Tiger, which is much more damaging. And he can do that because he has pretty good air control. And we got a second Tiger from Pbatt. And Pbatt can get a Tiger every 2 minutes. So, that's a lot of Tigers. It's very easy to save up for him. Well, Miracle Liner, it takes him just 2 minutes at 0 points to buy an M10 Wolverine. After the first minute he gets 120 points, all he needs is 10 more points, which is pretty easy to bank. And he's finding Wolverine, gets the rapid damage, and yeah, he's pretty much buggered. And if Pbatt was to do another assault down below, he needs to take advantage, use his half tracks, and there's other fodder units to take the front lead. But the Tiger, apart from the Wolverines, is going to have a field day because the 57mm guns are going to have trouble penetrating it. And as long as it doesn't get too close to a forest, bazookas aren't going to be an issue. As he is finding AB rifles down below. And really things up top is just a no man's land, which is quite fitting because this part of the map is kind of a no man's land. Especially if you have that little area. But you're barely holding on to a town with a single spar troop and just a single dude. Must be pretty lonely for Hans. Panzerwerfer ready to Werf again. Been using up quite a lot of supplies inside of the match, but he has kept it alive, and Panzerwerfers are so bloody useful. The Wolverine is going to be able to fly another day, as it is getting resupplied. It's a shame that Pbatt couldn't get the kill, because that would have helped an awful lot, finishing it off. And now he is moving in close, and the closer he gets, the more dangerous it gets. He doesn't have, well, he has the recon dude over here, but can he see the M10? Because the M10's back here, and I think the M10 will probably get the first shot off. There we go. And there we go. Pbatt gets the kill. Lucky second shot. And that's really going to open up the bottom hand side. Once again, he needs some half-tracks and other supporting units to really help him out, because it's just a bit risky bringing up a Tiger all by itself. We've got the planes intercepting the P-47? Or was that the Marauder? I think it was the Marauder. That's the P-47. And Tiger up top got knocked out. Wolverine getting the kill. And that's really going to stop Pbatt from making any advances, but Pbatt needs to make some ground. He's got 10 minutes left. I don't know if he can really pull this off, to be entirely honest. I mean, down below his Tiger's getting pummeled by Para. And he doesn't have good control over the forest, so unless he can do some crazy push, it's really not looking good for Pbatt. Well, now he's moving up. And the bombing run just barely keeping the Tiger alive. I mean, it's super Saiken. But nothing down here can really kill him. Yeah, Pathfinder's AT grenades, but good luck doing that in an open field. Or from a windmill. It's not saving Private Ryan. And Pbatt's really only option is to just push through here. Need some more units using the half-tracks now, rushing them up. The AV rifles are going to be caught with their pants down in the open. So are they going to be able to do a drive-by shooting? And the AV rifle should be able to knock out one half-track. There we go. And a second. Nope, but gets a very good morale hit. And more AB rifles coming in to save the day. 232. Helping out. And Pbatt now at a +2 point advantage just because he's managed to push such a huge bulge down below. And really he needs a +3 really to win. Or +4 just to be safe. And that's going to be bloody impossible in all honesty with only 6 minutes left. There we go, Puma, finally some proper recon, some fire support for the Tiger. And I'm amazed local festival hasn't got an AT gun. I'm guessing he only had 2 Wolverines on his deck. Just 2-star runs. Which can work, but as you can see, it's really biting him in the arse. Because what can he do? Does he have any M57mm AT guns? And that's really his other best bet. And Pbatt's now ripping out the Panzer. And in the middle, the AB rifles is getting pounded away. And they're not as tricky to deal with compared to AB engineers. So if he can kill the AB rifles here, that's going to be another breakthrough. And the Panthers, he has complete tank superiority at this point. I mean, Pbatt's probably singing a little bit of Panzer lead to himself. The Pathfinder's going to get knocked out. And if he can capture the supply jeep, that'd be pretty cool. But as you can see, just one glider rifle, just one unit's making such a huge impact on his front line. Thunderbolt doing a bombing run, but I think it's going to need a bit more than just a Thunderbolt. The Pathfinder's still alive, which is pretty funny. And yeah, Tiger's in a lovely position in open ground. He's going to be bringing up a Sherman, but no chance in hell. No chance in hell is he going to kill a Tiger with a Sherman. In this engagement distance, that is. And there we go, we got the +3 from Pbatt, but he needs a +4, and I think he can do it. I mean, it's just folding all around. Local Festival just doesn't have anything. Because Pbatt's got the tank spam. I mean, Panthers and Yad Panthers, you can't pen that. You cannot pen that. And there's the rocket artillery. And that's really funny. That was 4 minutes, and Local Festival has completely folded. Completely folded. He can bring up nothing to stomp this. And I'm guessing it's because he just has a lack of anti-tank units in his deck. He held a very nice +1 point advantage throughout the entirety of the match, but I mean, Pbatt just played to his biggest strength, and that was, well, his only strength, his armor, and 101st. And this later game does not have that the capability to deal with armor effectively. And also, even though he's a really good defensive positions for Local Festival, he can't exactly attack from him. They're really trenches, and this is all no man's land. I mean, he couldn't attack in the middle, that's for damn sure. Yeah, it would just have been bloody deadly. And up top here, he did a pretty good job holding the town, and in this area it's much more easier to defend, but you got a lot of open range engagement distances. Yeah, we did have a nice AT rule at the early game, and really his defense. And down below, probably one of his best bets, try to attack through the tree lines here, but it's just not good country for Local Festival. And as you can see, Pbatt's just all the tanks all over the place. +5, a bloody +5. He's not going to be able to take the victory. It's just going to come down to a draw. But Pbatt is painting it red. He's really painting it red. But you can get a Panzer IV every minute. That's the economy of late game Panzer. A Panzer IV every minute. I mean, that's like 10 Panzer IVs in 10 minutes. That's a lot of Panzer IVs. And that's going to be the draw. Pretty good match from both sides. Very close on the kill advances. I think Pbatt got a lot of those kills later on. And like I said before, it was a good defensive position from Local Festival, but not the best offensive position, because he doesn't have those long range open ground engagement units. Especially if his deck, where as we saw, he had 2 Wolverines in that shit. There may be 2 Salvation, but they're still flimsy. And 2 Wolverines versus the potential tank force that Pbatt can bring up with Panthers, Tigers, that's just not going to cut it. It's a King Tiger costs more than 2 Wolverines. Heck, a Panther costs more than 2 Wolverines. It really just goes to show the differences in just tank costs for both decks. But good match all around, and I'm going to shut up and leave it at that. This has been another Rangaroo cast. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as usual, please just take it easy.